Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Thursday, June 22nd meeting of the Blackstone-Millville Regional District School Committee. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I got it backwards.
Mrs. Reggio.
I got it backwards. No comment. Introduction of members.
Tammy Lemieux, Blackstone.
Sarah Larkin, Millville.
Georgette Jarrett, Blackstone.
Karen Vernon, Millville.
Jack Keefe, Blackstone.
Jane Reggio, Millville.
Alan Himmelberger, Superintendent.
Seeing no public forum, we'll move to consent agenda A, and there's been a request to separate those out. So we will do that. If I can have a motion to accept the payroll as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Tara, seconded by Karen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Move to approve the payable vouchers out of the cafeteria account as submitted.
So moved.
Moved by Georgette,
Second.
second by Jack. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Move to approve the payable vouchers in the general account as submitted by the superintendent of the schools.
So moved.
Moved by Georgette,
Second.
second by Karen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?
Aye.
Jack abstains, okay. And move to approve the school committee minutes of June 8th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Tara,
Second.
second by Tammy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And so approved. I think that's it. That's everything. Okay. Skip to you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reggio. I have, it looks like a lengthy report, but it really isn't that lengthy. First, I want to welcome two new members of our leadership team, two new principals, as many of you know. Mr. Cameron and Mrs. Desai, and whoever used to sit here have left the district, and we wish them well. We are fortunate to have Ms. Tonya Kurt-Hord and her daughter Reese with us tonight, and we're also fortunate to have someone that, I hate to say it, needs no introduction, Mr. Stephen Tringali. Tonya Kurt-Hord will be the principal here at the Hartnett Middle School starting July 1, and Steve Tringali, Mr. Tringali, will be principal at the John F. Kennedy Elementary School officially July 1. And so I would welcome anyone who'd like to come up and sit at the desk. So we are very fortunate to have Tonya's daughter, Reese, join us, and congratulations on your mom's appointment.
And her graduating kindergarten.
And graduating.
Was that today?
No, last
Yeah.
Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So we're
That's
excited
exciting.
to have all three of you join us. So I'm old-fashioned, so ladies first. Tonya Kurt-Hord comes to us from Somerset Public Schools, where she has been the assistant principal at Somerset Middle. And it's interesting, I keep bumping into folks who have worked with Tonya along the way, and it's amazing the universal acclamation that I get from folks totally unrehearsed. Tonya spent a little over 15 years in Woonsocket Public Schools, performing in a variety of roles, ELA teacher, and most recently as the assistant principal at one of the Woonsocket Middle Schools. And she is a Google expert. I can use that help, along with being familiar with our X2 system, and really, really is looking forward to integrating all of her talents with what is, by all accounts, a pretty darn good middle school. But we look forward to working with you. We welcome you, and Reese, congratulations, and I hope you have a great summer. And so we'll look forward to having everybody in as we get closer to back to school.
Yep.
But I wanted to make sure that they at least got a chance to say hello to us, and we could officially welcome you. And sitting to her left is Mr. Steve Tringali, and many of us remember all of his work on the school committee for the previous 9 years. Steve is now in Northbridge Public Schools, and again, he has been there over 20 years. He has performed in a variety of roles. He taught third grade for many, many years, and he is the assistant principal at Bmrsd Elementary, only for a few more days. And, you know, we had a terrific search process, 2 search committees that were made up of parents and school committee members and teachers and staff. And the process was extremely well done by all. And the same questions were asked, and the ratings came in from everyone on the committee. And I am very, very excited to be looking forward to working with both of you in a few short days. And just wanted to say welcome to BMR.
Thank you.
Look forward to it. I don't know if the committee has any
Any
questions or
questions?
welcomes or
Anybody?
anything. They're getting ready to get going, and the transition, I'm sure, will be dynamic and with lots of energy. And I can't say enough how thrilled I am to be able to work with folks, educators of this caliber, and look forward to it.
And generally, when we have administrators come in or students come in, we often say, what do you need? How can we help you? And so we're throwing that out there now, not that you know, but we are here to support your efforts. And so we are not here to tell you what to do, we're here to support what you want to do. And so we look forward to that. I'm very excited to have both of you in the district, and if you run into some roadblocks or you need some support, that's what we're here to do.
Thank you.
Very good. Look forward to that. Anybody else?
Just want to say welcome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you both for coming in, and
Yeah.
I wish you a smooth transition, a wonderful summer, and Reese, congratulations.
You're gonna get to know this place really well, and hopefully it'll be very comfortable for you. I hope you'll
We
like
love
it.
school, so.
There we go.
So thank you both, and
Yeah.
congratulations.
You know, I've been there, actually, I've been, just like Tanya, I've been wearing 2 hats for the last couple of days, weeks, trying to do 2 things at once. And I just want to thank, you know, Bmrsd Sc and Carol Brown. They've been fabulous. You know, I spent a day with Bmrsd earlier this week, and she had a beautiful transition plan that kind of in the middle of right now. And I've been working a lot with Carol Brown, and she's been tremendous. She really has.
That's
So
good to
just
hear.
want to thank both of them right up front.
I'm very thankful. Jan had me come in during their faculty meeting. I didn't know how that would go, but it was really great to meet everyone, even though I'm not going to probably remember the names, but at least I did already get to say hello to everyone. I was very surprised to have a photo of all the students and signatures. That was amazing. And Justin as well has been fantastic. I've met with him twice. Yesterday, met with Jan at her house. That was fun. And so I'm just really excited. I knew this school was close to where I live. But I was a grade 7 English teacher for 15 years, and then I was the assistant principal in the building that I was also the teacher in for 15 years, moving from the old Woonsocket Middle School to the 2 new ones in the middle of a school year. And then last year I decided to move over into Massachusetts, and I went to Somerset, but I think that this transition will be easier because I at least know this area. I spend enough time in Blackstone. Most of it's been shopping, but at least I do know the area, and I feel like I'm coming home, so I'm very happy about that.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
and
Welcome and-
Congratulations. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
How many questions?
Okay.
Okay.
Next, I have what is a very familiar transfer. We have a transfer of high school student activities account approval. This is in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 71, Section 47. I hereby request reimbursement to be issued from the student activity agency account to the student activities checking account in the amount of $26,505.62. In making this request, I hereby certify that student receipts equaling or exceeding this reimbursement have been collected for those purposes and are already deposited in the student activity agency account. Receipts totaling the total amount of the reimbursement request are attached. So I would ask for a motion
Yeah.
to
So
approve.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfer from the student activity agency account to the student activities checking account.
So moved.
Moved by Tara, second?
Second.
Second by, second by Karen, in the amount of $26,505.62. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. This will come around and does require everybody's signature.
Okay. And I'm wondering why I can't find the next item, which is the rubbish contract approval.
You have a copy?
Do you have a copy?
No, we just have the motion.
That'd be great. Thank you very much, Mrs. Reggio. So the district sent out invitations for quotes for the collection of rubbish from the schools for the 17-18 school year. This is something that we have been doing annually. I think we could certainly entertain looking at a 3-year contract, but this has been done annually. The district is recommending Republic Services at the rate of $13,860 with a summer pickup rate of $53. They were the low bid and won this bid last year and 2 years prior to that. So the motion would be to move to accept the quote from Republic of $13,860 with a summer pickup rate of $53 per container for the 2017-2018 school year.
So I would entertain a motion to accept the quote from Republic Services of Fall River, Massachusetts for rubbish collection services for 2017-18 school year.
So moved.
So mo-
Second.
Okay,
I
okay, questions?
Is this an increase, Ellen?
Actually, it's, I think, almost dollar for dollar. Yes.
So compared to what we
Yes.
budgeted?
Yep. Yes.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. You need a copy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Moving along, we have the Unit C contract for the committee's approval. Our support staff does a tremendous job in a sometimes behind-the-scenes role, but this, I believe, and thanks to Mrs. Vanaco and Mr. Tringali and Mrs. Reggio for their work on this, because it has been a contract that I think is fair for both parties. Certainly, the main points to it were that we were able to adjust some things, and this is a 2.5-3 contract. First year is lower because we reduced the tuition, the healthcare reimbursement, so that folks could transition into that for one more year. But overall, this contract, I think, is fair and has been ratified by the unit, and asked for the committee's approval.
And what happens after the first year with the healthcare reimbursement?
It disappears. Yes, it's only for the first year of the contract.
Any other major changes?
Nothing major. A lot of it was housekeeping and language. We did reduce some pieces of it, such as bus monitors. But again, I think it's a challenge when you have one unit representing so many different interests. And I think there was a spirit of cooperation. Again, we used John Hanson to mediate, and the interest-based bargaining, I think, has gone well. I am just looking forward to a year next year without any contracts to negotiate. So
Focus on the budget.
that's where we are.
Right.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the Unit C agreement.
So moved.
Moved by Jack, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tammy. Does anybody have any questions or any discussion?
Looks good.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
28.
Page 28
Is
on
the
both
signature
copies?
page, yep.
Yeah, so we requires, and your name should be there.
Right. I just wanted to take a minute also to, it's 28.
Oh, there it is, back.
I just wanted to take a minute to keep everybody apprised of the end of school, and the last 3 or 4 weeks have been a blur with activities in every building, with the moving on of 3 of our leadership team members, and certainly I believe, and Mr. Keefe can hopefully back me up, that it was a very, very strong finish in every school. And certainly, we graduated 114 on June 2nd. And to listen to those speeches and to talk to our graduates, we've been doing a lot of things well. And I just wanted to say, I believe this was the first year that the graduates went back to all of the schools
Yeah.
and got a chance to go through the halls, and I don't know who had more fun. The students in the lower grades, the graduates, or the teachers and staff of the buildings, because it's amazing to see the relationships that have been formed. And I think, I say it a lot of times in faculty meetings, you never know what your reach is.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, there was a lot of great reach from the graduates to the younger grade level students, and as well for the staff back and forth. And I think that's a tradition worth keeping. And I just want to say congratulations to our students who finished strong, who really, really worked hard, and that's also commending parents for providing that base for finishing the year strong. And I couldn't be more proud of the staff and students for the way that the year ended. It will be a short summer, I think, because of the start on Tuesday, August 29th. Our summer hours are really 7 weeks long, and it's a lot of work to be done, especially as we shift gears without Dr. Thompson and an assistant superintendent for all that he did. So it's going to be a challenge to get ready for next year. But I just wanted to say thanks to the staff, congratulations to the students. It was a very strong conclusion to the year. The last item that I have is the English Language Learner Handbook that everyone received a hard copy of. This is about as by the book as you can get. The laws changed in June of 2015, became very prescriptive towards how English language learners are identified, how they are tested and assessed, and how they are integrated into everyday life in all of our schools across the Commonwealth. So I think that everyone did a phenomenal job putting this together. It certainly reflects all of the state laws and all of the mandates, and we do have a coordinated program review next year, February 12th through the 16th, and English language learners are a part of that review. So I would simply ask if there are any questions, and if not, for the committee to approve this handbook as the document we use going forward. It's very well done.
Yeah, it's very well done. Any questions?
Could you just repeat those dates again?
Yes, the
February.
CPR, the Coordinated Program Review, has been ongoing. We had a deadline, I believe, of May 19th to upload a tremendous amount of data and documents to the Department of Education and elementary and secondary education. That was the first part. Then those documents are reviewed. The on-site portion of this Coordinated Program Review would occur February 12th through February 16th, which is the week just prior to February break in the spring of 2018. So we have really hit the trifecta because we had our NEASC visit in the end of 2015, and we responded to that. We have had our district targeted review this past May 22nd to the 24th, and now we have our CPR, our coordinated program review, coming up next February.
Can I entertain a motion to approve the handbook?
So moved.
Okay. Moved by Georgette. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tara. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, great. Okay. Wanted to
And
have
that
a.
concludes my report.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a brief discussion about the next step in our budget process, and that is that the Town of Millville, the Board of Selectmen, did receive our recertified budget that was delivered by Karen and Alan. And they did call a Board of Selectmen meeting, a special meeting, and so I appreciate that they did that, because they had to post a town meeting. They needed 14 days, and we asked that they do it before June 30 in hopes that we would have a budget. So they did. And they did post a special town meeting for Thursday night, June 29th, at the Millville Elementary School at 7 p.m. We will have babysitting available, and we will be asking them for $104,750. 750. And that is warrant number 2. The first warrant item was the fact that the town has certified its free cash and is asking for 298,000 something to be moved from free cash to the stabilization account. So that's warrant item number 1. Warrant item number 2 is ours to take the 104, what did you just say?
750.
750.
104,
750 from stabilization to be put into our budget for the FY18. If the warrants stand in that order, that means that it would require a 2/3 vote of the registered voters present at the meeting in order for that warrant item to pass. So it is very important that we ask for registered voters in the town of Millville to attend the meeting. The more people we have present, the better discussion and the better that the town gets to decide the direction that they want to go. That $104,750 relates directly to the $280,000 that Blackstone has already put forth in their budget process and approved. So without the $104,750 from Millville, that would be a $384,750 deficit that we'd have to remove from our already decreased and on fumes budget. So that $104,750 is tremendously important. If Millville residents do vote to move the money into the stabilization account, the Millville stabilization account had $143,520 or something like that, $143,000 after the end of the first town meeting in May, and they would add $298, so they would have a stabilization account in excess of 7% of their budgeted amount. And we all know from having been at the town meeting that they look at a minimum to have at least 5%. So if we take the $104,750, they would still be above that 5% minimum that they look for. They would be at 5.3%. So we are asking for that monies, and we hope that it will be budgeted towards us, and we need citizens from the town of Millville to be present at that meeting. Yes.
One thing I wanted to point out is that I wanted to thank our Senator Ryan Fatman and our Representative Kevin Kuros, because they were instrumental in getting Melissa King from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed. She's really the school finance expert at the department, to come out and talk to both Uxbridge and to Blackstone and Millville last Thursday evening. And it was eye-opening, I think, for everyone that was there. We had a very eclectic crowd who was there, And I think it was an eye-opener for her to take everybody through the numbers and how they're computed and how the foundation budget works and the gap that minimum contributions have given to us over the years. That formula was created in 1993, and nothing is the same. The minimum that we are required to spend on our net school spending budget is $19.2 million. That's based on metrics from 1993. We know this year we should have been at 22,585, and next year we really should be at just about 23 million. That's a huge gap in what the minimum required by the state is and what it costs in today's dollars to educate today's students. And that is basically a $4 million, almost 20% bump from what's required to what really is what it costs to educate students today in the Commonwealth. And so I think the folks that were in attendance from both Blackstone and Millville really learned a lot about why we are in the gap that we're in. And it's no one's fault. It's really a fault of the formula, and to a degree, state and federal resources that have been moved away from financing public education. So I can't say enough about the discourse and the folks that want to get involved and understand and learn about it. It's not easy to figure out and can be as dry as dust to figure out school financing, but it's what our students need so that we can produce successful contributing members of our society as we, as people helped, as we all went through public education. So it was a very good meeting, and I thought that the questions were excellent, but it does really, it is an eye-opener to where we are, and we're not alone in districts across the state, but we certainly are, that's what we are facing.
Yes.
I just want to add to that because it was dry as dust, but it was very eye-opening to see and to hear at the very end when Melissa King said, and this is how we calculate the minimum amount mandated to, you know, and that there are towns that aren't spending their Chapter 70 correctly. I think our towns have always looked at it as, this is what the state says it should cost to educate our kids, and really what the state is saying with their formula, and it was eye-opening to hear it from them, is this is the least amount they're allowed to spend on education. It doesn't mean we should be able to operate on that budget. It means based on the census of our towns and the taxes and the income, and that this is the least amount of money your town is allowed to spend, not this is what it should cost you to educate your kids. And eye-opening for me, I was so glad that FinCom members were there from Millville, because they've essentially wanted, not the particular members who were there, but they want us to spend the least amount. If we came in with that $19 million budget, they would be thrilled. But that means we're not putting any money into our kids' education. You know, following that number would be devastating for our kids. So if there was a way to get that message across without that dry formula, but I heard the words at the end, and that was all I needed to hear. And that's what everyone needs to hear, is that with whatever way they get there, that calculation is only stating that that's the least amount our town is allowed to spend, and that they check on you to make sure you're spending at least that much.
Right.
Not just that much. So they need to change, we discussed that, they need to change the word, the minimum, the minimum.
Something, they need to change
It
it.
needs to be like, you know,
Bare bones.
this is your mandated amount.
Expected amounts.
Even
It has
then,
to be
it
a different
doesn't,
word,
yeah.
because it's a perception, it's a misperception.
That's all a town has to give, and it's not. It doesn't
Unfortunately, they're only
it
about
doesn't
10
run a
of us in the
school.
room, right? And they're only about 10 or 12
It was
people.
about 20
No,
total.
yeah, there
20
were-
total,
yeah,
but there
yeah.
was a lot of,
Spread
there
out.
was a lot of
Mixed match of
expertise
people,
in that
right.
room.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the amount of people that could have.
Hear it, could have heard it,
Heard.
Yeah.
needed to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I needed to hear it, I learned, I
Definitely.
learned.
And just one last comment to what Erin said. We know that public education is not easy to get your arms around, but the committee spent a lot of time and a lot of meetings, February, March, April, May, to come up with the certified budget of $22,576,000. And out of that original certified budget, 94% of it is what you have to spend to meet contractual obligations, benefit obligations, transportation, special education. There's really only about 5 or 6% that's truly discretionary, but that has to cover an awful lot of things. So, you know, I commend this committee for doing a lot of hard work to come up with that number. And, you know, if in fact we can get the additional assessment voted next week, that'll put us at $22,458,000. That's the additional reduction. We'll find a way to make it work, but we've got to, you know, understand that we're really challenging the system that educates our kids. And so that's all I have.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay. June 29th, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Millville Elementary School. Hope to see every Millville registered voter that exists, senior to 18-year-old. Hope they're all there. Okay, so it's at this time of year that we do our superintendent evaluation. For some of you that are new, the process starts with the superintendent doing a self-evaluation and his evidence for the things that he has accomplished this year. And then we as a committee have an opportunity to review that, and a survey will be created. Usually we do it on a Survey Monkey and sent out to each one of us and give us an opportunity to provide feedback, how we think the superintendent is doing in each of those articles, and how we think he's doing on the general requirements of being a superintendent. There's like 6 different categories. And then at a future meeting, we'll review that feedback and do a formal evaluation of the superintendent. So.
Sure, thank you very much. So I sent out via Google Docs, and I'm not sure if everyone could open that big file, which has a lot of evidence in there, and at the top of each piece of evidence is the standard that it refers to. I will resend it via attachments on email tomorrow, so everyone has it. There are 6 goals that we identified together that were my goals to work on this year. One is a professional practice goal, one is a student learning goal, and then the others, as many as can be managed, are goals that are also looked at. The individual goals are measured on not meeting the goal, barely meeting it, making progress, meeting it, or exceeding it. And certainly that all gets put into the superintendent's rubric, which is based around 4 standards, and each one of those is unsatisfactory, needs improvement, proficient, or exemplary, and then a final rating is given to the superintendent. So I will resend that file. I also included in your packet the hard copy of my summative assessment, and I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but around the professional practice goal, that was to, and this may sound humorous today, but that was to improve the budget process and delivery of information from January 1st through June 1st so that all parties have a clear understanding of the district's needs and have all of the information necessary to make an informed decision to support the school committee's adopted budget and to pass a viable budget at town meetings. And I think if you look at the very bottom of that page, the last 2 lines say that this goal will show significant progress if we can get a budget passed by July 1st. If we had a budget by the second town meeting on May 30th, I would have said we met the goal. If we can't get a budget by July 1st, then I haven't done the work. pure and simple. The student learning goal is around Standard 1C, which is curriculum and instruction, and it's to improve student learning by implementing the Big Ideas Math program for grade 6 at the middle school, and to further roll out the STARS assessment program in grades 2 through 9 and STARS 360. We have made significant progress. We will obviously get the definitive results when we get our test results back in September as to how our students are doing on standardized tests that every student across the state takes. But there was terrific cooperation from staff, from teachers, and the utilization of STARS has proven to provide immediate feedback to how well our students are doing and where there needs to be additional work. There were then 4 other goals that were identified. One is the Standard 1A, which is curriculum instructional delivery. And we wanted to look at a sample curriculum, and that's included in the evidence folder of what that looks like. I think as we now go to a 3rd year of Envision next year, that will pay dividends as our students come to the middle school. And we hopefully have the dollars to roll out Big Ideas to grade 7 next year, and really then close the loop on mathematics instruction from K all the way to the high school. The other standard is diverse learners' needs, and as we saw at the last meeting from our special ed director in her year-end summary, we have logged and tracked the number of students on each type of program. We've compared our out-of-district placements year over year, and we've looked at eligible and non-eligible students from team meetings. We continue to improve and refine our specialized classrooms in all 5 schools. The number of our students requiring these programs to meet their social, emotional, and behavioral needs is only increasing. And we have made significant progress, but we have so much more work to do. And I think, Mrs. Braverman has restarted the CPAC, the Special Education Parents Advisory Council. I think that will continue to provide a vehicle for communication and to have other information available for parents. So this standard still needs to be included in future years because it is that critical to our students' ability to access their education. The next goal is the environment standard 2A, and this is around the facilities themselves and the upgrades sorely needed in our buildings and around safety and security. And we have submitted by deadline the projects. The John F. Kennedy Elementary School, that project has been moved forward by School Building Authority. We are still waiting for the core renovation approval of the high school. And because of the volume of requests for the accelerator projects, Millville Elementary and Maloney, AF Maloney, did not make the next round this year. We have, with the town's help, added a school resource officer that works with our staff and students and administration. And Officer Nimzik has done terrific work, and by all measure has been a huge plus for the district. He works with Officer Shepard in Millville, and they really have provided an additional layer of safety and security for our students. We are working to roll out the ALICE training, and we have provided the background information, which was very well received by all staff, and we will roll that out in the fall to all students by grade level, by appropriate rollout, and we continue to review our safety protocols to to meet today's environment, which can be unsettling if we watch too much news. So, but that is a goal that we are working towards, and again, I would say that we've made progress, but we have more. So, none of these goals can I say with any certainty that we've met. We certainly haven't exceeded. We've made the progress, we've started, we are moving forward, but it's going to be a challenge to make sure we continue with all of them as we go into next year. The last goal is professional culture, and that I believe we have made very, very strong progress. We have posted more information on our newly designed and upgraded website for much more continuity and content for folks to look at. The improvement plans are posted, along with monthly updates in the Superintendent's Corner, left toolbar for all of you who want to read my wisdom each month. And the bi-weekly updates, I will continue to strive to get those, just what the title says, bi-weekly. I know we had a bit of a slowdown in March and April, but that's, I think, because we probably saw each other way too much during all those meetings. I, again, held supper with the super in every school, and that's a great place to meet parents and get their questions and feedback and comments and concerns clarified. I've attended PTO meetings and have attended faculty meetings in each school, especially as to transmit budget information. And a big piece of this will to integrate our 2 new principals into the leadership team and to make sure that we become more effective at delivering timely information. I think if you look at the 4 standards, there's no way around it. This district needs that curriculum person that understands that curriculum piece and the integration of technology. I will have to do both jobs, but we'll get lots of cooperation from staff and from the leadership team. I think the challenge is to continue the work in an less than ideal financial environment, but we still can't use that as a reason not to try and do it. And so I think that that's going to be a challenge on stretching my time and managing my time to be able to continue the work around the curriculum and to find a way to somehow get us jump-started onto science curriculum, because that's going to come back at us soon. I gave myself a needs improvement in this standard number 1. Standard number 2 is management and operations. I believe that this is an area that I am proficient. And again, the challenge will be in meshing the gears to allow us to continue the work. The family and community engagement, which is standard 3, I believe that I am proficient in this, but we certainly still need to market and message the fact that this district has a lot of good things happening in it. And I know that there are parents who might disagree with that, and I think that ongoing dialogue has to happen. And I will be sending out a survey to parents. We will meet with 5th and 6th grade parents in the fall to get them thinking about their students' future and how we might help. And so there is a lot more work in this area that, again, is so very important. The last standard is professional culture, and I gave myself a proficient plus here. I think that this is something that I have strived for in my first 3 years, to meet with staff and ask them what they need to do their jobs, and to be fair and open with everyone, regardless of job title and length of service. We all contribute to our students' bottom line, and it doesn't matter if we are the classroom teacher or a custodian. We all do. And, you know, I got some very positive feedback, and I won't name the teachers from different buildings, but we're moving that in the right direction. My brief summary, and again, I'm not going to read it all, you have it here, but we're going to have a challenge as we move forward. And, I would like to think that I'm ready for it, and I'm up for it. I can only thank the committee for your support and for your work that is sometimes not always easy. And I think, you know, getting the word out is going to take a concerted effort from a lot of folks. But as I say, we have a darn good district, and I look forward to the challenge of the summer to get us ready for next year. And it's going to be a busy, busy time.
Anybody have any questions or comments, or, okay. If anybody wants, like, to learn more about the process, we do have the guide for school committee evaluations, and so we can get extra copies and get those to everybody, but essentially.
Yeah, and I'll send out the rubric and the goals tomorrow via
Right.
email, so you'll have it
Okay.
as well.
So are we setting up a survey monkey?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know stuff like that?
Yes.
Yes, please.
No, yes, please. Actually, I was going to, Wendy can help us too, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, school committee forum. Tammy?
I just wanted to thank the teachers and staff for bringing our students to the end of the school year, and also to thank all the parent volunteers at all the schools for helping out with all the enrichment activities and those things that students certainly look forward to. And I think parents, to a high degree, look forward to them also. I think some parents are the doers, and the others kind of look around and can't wait for the event. So I just want to thank those parent volunteers, because without them, the other parent volunteers can't get it done. So that's that, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe summer. That's it.
Same. I hope everyone has a nice summer.
Hope everyone has a nice summer. Safe.
Yeah.
Yep. Safe and relaxing summer, and hopefully we'll see everybody at the meeting on the
Yeah.
29th in Millville.
Hope everybody comes back prepared to learn and teach in September.
That's the goal, Jack, that's the goal.
So I was going to touch on that Chapter 70 meeting, but I already got to that, so very enlightening. And what I've been asking of friends and family is to attend the town meeting, and for each of them to bring 2 people.
Ah,
Great idea.
there you go.
You know, we don't need just one of the parents, we need both of them. So childcare is key, and, you know, hopefully they're to support our schools. And this shouldn't be such a struggle, so hopefully we can work together going forward to get it, you know, into an easier process for all of us. And Tammy just thanked all the volunteers, and Tammy was one of those big
Yeah.
volunteers, so organizing many, many things for our middle schoolers and beyond. So thank you, Tammy. And she's sitting here with us for this. So, you know.
She brought sunscreen to field day.
And she brought some-
I wish she.
you.
A little
I
bit.
have sunscreen.
I have sunscreen.
And definitely a safe summer for
Well,
everyone.
and I saw you the afternoon after that, I'm like,
A
little red.
We need everyone back in September, ready to go, so.
healthy and well and safe. I would, like probably the last time, like to thank Justin Cameron, Dave Thompson, and Varsha Desai for all they've given to this district. We do have schools that we're proud of, and a lot of good things going, and those 3 people were a big part of that. And I look forward to working with Tanya and Steve and seeing what they're gonna, new and innovative ideas they might bring to make us even bigger and better. And I thank you all for the time that you've had to commit. It's been a long budget season, and I hope that it ends quietly on the 29th of June. And we'll go from there, but we will work with our towns and try to hit that goal and work even more closely with our finance committee. So I, like Aaron, really appreciated the fact that there were representatives from both towns at that Chapter 70 meeting, at the state meeting with Mrs. King, and so I appreciate that they made that effort to learn, and we're going to return that and make an effort to learn the town process so that we can work together. So that's it. We do have a need for a very short executive session for personnel purposes. Our next meeting is Monday, July 10th, and I wanted to make sure that we have enough people, because I know there'll be several people out of town. So if we have to have it before the 15th, so we have to have it that week, but I don't know what everybody's schedule looks like that week.
And who would we have here to run it?
Yeah.
'Cause you and I are both gone, right?
Yeah. So,
On the 10th?
yeah.
Could we move it to the 13th, the Thursday?
Is that too late?
I believe it's too late, primarily because that meeting is the closeout meeting.
Right.
By the
for-
15th?
But it's gonna take
Saturday.
this year, every minute before the 15th, which is the close date by regional agreement and statute. So I that's the reason why we had picked the 10th, is because
I'm here.
it's gonna
You're
take
here?
a ton of time to
Tara-
close the books.
Tara, are you here?
I can be here.
Georgette, are you here?
Wendy's
What is it?
Wendy's not. Aaron's
July
not.
10th?
Yeah, July 10th.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Monday.
Yeah,
Pending childcare, I'm here.
okay. All
I
right.
should be able to.
Okay. Jack, you're here?
Sit back there.
So,
So who runs the meeting, the secretary or the treasurer?
No, I'll come back. I'll be here.
No, we need to change the meeting then. You're traveling.
Well,
does the 11th work?
Doesn't the 13th give you more time to get the books done?
We need the votes taken, so then the financial close can happen, and it has to happen by the 15th. So,
that only gives
I mean,
them one day.
I don't know if the 11th,
What about the 12th?
helps. It's just gonna put us under a tremendous pressure to have it finished by the 15th.
Wednesday, the 12th, I know Wendy and I are both back. And you're the 11th?
Yeah, well, I can be back.
But we can work that. Yeah, I'll be check with Wayne.
Okay, let's hold on that. But right now, we have a meeting scheduled for July 10th. Tentatively. And then after that, August 10th. So I need a motion to go into executive session and not to return to this meeting here.
So moved?
Second?
Okay, moved by Aaron, seconded by Tara. Roll call. Tammy?
Yes.
Tara?
Yes.
Aaron? Yeah. Jane, yes. Jack?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Yes.
Georgette, yes. Okay. Meeting adjourned for here, going into executive.